Hello everyone, this is Peter Bong for Australian Motorcycle News. With the update from the Friday in Barcelona MotoGP. What happened today in the Friday? Well, a lot, and who's happy, who's not happy, depends where you are. Who's definitely happy is everybody on the KTM. KTMs have done a really good Friday here, which for me is very interesting. 3 KTMs in the top 10. Well, there is only 4 KTMs in total, and one of them is an injured rider, Maverick Vinales, who until he was injured was showing KTM the way and tell them how to be fast, show them how to be fast with the KTM. But to have 3 KTMs in the top 10 is such a good start from the Friday. And it's very surprising, and gives me a lot of hope for KTM for the future, because they have been fast in Brno, which is a weird track. They were fast in Red Bull Ring, they were fast at the Balaton Ring, 2 stop-and-go tracks. Now we go from not a stop-and-go track, we go to a pretty fast, flowing track where you have a long, everlasting corners on a very flat surface. So this was going to be the proof of the cake for KTM if they really made the step that we saw the last 3 races, and because this is such a different, and it's clear to say yes, they made. They made a really, I mean, if you have 3 KTMs on Friday in the top 10, that's unbelievable. We also got 2 Hondas in the top 10 from okay, there are 4 Hondas, but you can only say basically there are 3. So that's already also a good thing. And the reason behind it, with the KTMs, I still need a little bit more convincing, because the KTMs usually suffer a lot from like chatter coming from the rear tire. Now they have this tuned mass damper thing in the rear seat units since this year. But since they started riding with it this year, it doesn't mean automatically it immediately helps you. It's like, it's a very clever but also complicated device that needs carefully setting up. So usually when you start with it, you just gather information and try to understand what to do with the information. So I don't think that's already a big help for them. But they are very lucky, because Barcelona has very little grip, as everybody explains, but it's also very flat. Now, if you have long-lasting corners, chatter usually comes in the phase between opening the brake but not really opening the throttle. So you're off the brakes or very little braking but not yet on the throttle. That's when there is not enough load on the chassis, and then every little vibration between, in this case, the rear tire and the tarmac gets exaggerated and goes through the whole bike and so on and so on. But this starting of this vibration is probably not happening here because the track is very flat. So I still need a little bit more convincing from KTM side whether they really have found something. But I'm just happy for the guys, because that's the company that we were all thinking they probably don't even show up this year. So really good to see the KTMs there. 2 Hondas in the top 10, that's also quite promising. And Honda, they have a new chassis that came just before the summer break that everybody was so happy about it and so enthusiastic. So it's now on the Repsol Honda team has it. Zarco don't think has it. He sort of develops it as the test rider, but there wasn't one on his bike. Still, Zarco is in the top 10 because he is Zarco. Yeah, really good, because Honda and Yamaha are the slowest bike. So I always pay attention on a power track. With Barcelona, you still need a lot of horsepower to do a good lap time. And the Honda is fighting with the Yamaha for the lowest top speed, you know, they don't have the power. They have more than Yamaha. Yamaha just have no power at all. But Honda is like the weakest of all the V4 engines. So the fact that Honda can do quite a good lap time here means their aero package is improving, and at least the chassis is improving a lot. So that's good. Aprilia is okay with 2 Aprilias in the top 10, obviously Marco Bezzecchi, and I was expecting Jorge Martin because he's usually the master of qualifying, but it's not him, it's Ayogura, the rookie, that did such a really good qualifying. I call it qualifying, it's Friday, pre-qualifying, it's so important. Jorge Martin is still in the phase that he starts to understand the bike. Usually it's only whatever, 3rd, 4th weekend that he's on the bike this year. So he used to be very good in qualifying, but he's not that good at qualifying yet at Aprilia. But Aprilia is ready. They're just waiting for Jorge Martin to pick up the game, because what the other guys are doing with it is really good. Yep, That brings me to another positive thing. Positive depends in which camp you are. Marc and Alex Marquez already showed this afternoon that they had a really good race pace. They did on the medium, like the hard rear tire. There's 2 rear tires available, the soft one and the medium. So the medium you can also call the hard one here. That's normally the tire that we're going to do on Sunday in the race. And both Alex and Marquez had a super good steady pace with the medium tire. They didn't do a lot of long runs with soft rear tire. They already know they will be there anyway. So if you're that far ahead of the competition like Marc, and also now his brother again here, then already on Friday you start to work for the Sunday race. Cool. But there's also some things that are not so cool, or very sad actually, and that's Pecco Bagnaia. I mean, the guy is just falling apart as performance-wise as a rider, and it's just painful to see. It's painful to see. I even like the guy as a human being, as a person, as a personality. So 2 times world champion, and this year's Ducati 2025 is definitely a worse bike. It's definitely a shitty bike. But they have Marc Marquez, so they are safe in Ducati. But even Fabio Gianantonio, which everybody was expecting a lot more this year, is struggling a lot. Have some up and down results with the 2025. With Pecco Bagnaia just, in the beginning he was expecting to fight with Marc, and then he was fighting for second place with Marc's brother, and then he was just finishing third, and now he doesn't finish third at all. He finished today. I mean, Friday morning I didn't even see him on television, and today, which is still like a pre-qualifying thing, he finished 21 out of 24 riders. So he has behind him 1 test rider and 2 riders that are coming back from an injury but are still injured. So that's a full day. And that shows you the interesting combination of your performance, your confidence, your performance, your confidence. It's always growing. Both of them are growing, or both of them are not growing. And Pecco Bagnaia definitely now completely doesn't know what to do, what he did earlier this year with the same bike. Complains about problems that normally are not his problems. So yeah, look at him riding. There's no confidence. So yeah, sad to see, but that's top spot as well. Again, there was a KTM in the fence again. Yeah, I'm laughing because I see the humor in things, but I'm definitely not laughing because for the guys in KTM, that's going to be a long night. Because last race in Hungary, we had over the weekend 2 times a KTM, super high, super destroyed in the fence. And today happened again. Enea Bastianini, it just turn 2 in Barcelona is always a bit of a shit corner, because you have a couple of right-handers, a long straight, another right-hander, turn 1, and then to the left. Now you can see it coming. Front tire is stone cold on the left side. So what Enea Bastianini did good is first put in a really solid banker lap. So he had a really good lap time. And what you do when you have 1 more rear tire to improve on that lap time, what the riders normally do is go in completely over-enthusiastic and super keen into the first couple of corners. And if they survive that and they feel they were fast, then you just continue the rest of the lap stable and you improved again. Well, he didn't survive turn 2 this time. And it's not a fast corner, whatever, 105 kilometers per hour. He was back on his feet in a couple of meters, but the bike not, as bikes can do. When they hit the gravel, they start tumbling, and the thing started tumbling and went up over the air fence into the real fence, and that's a lot of damage. So, but anyway, all 3 of the 4 KTMs are in the top 10. The only guy KTM not is an injured rider, Maverick Vinales, so everybody will be happy there. But for sure, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter night for sleeping wise. Then we had a Moto3, Jacob Roulstone and Kelso. 6 and 7, so that's a really good Friday. In the morning session they were there, this afternoon session, which also is like a pre-qualifying in Moto3, they were just, all the time they were there. They were choosing the right wheel, they were following the right guys and just can do the lap time. Very good beginning, but it's still a Friday. In the Moto2 we have Senna Agius coming back from a shitty injury. He missed 1 race, got injured in the race before in the Red Bull Ring. Quite a shitty accident what happened there, could have been a lot worse. He is only 11, but then pay attention. He's in P11 on Friday, but the lap time difference with the fastest guy of the day is 0.22 seconds. So when you're 0.22 seconds, you should be fucking second, not 11. But that's Moto2 at the moment on this track. MotoGP was also close, but tomorrow I expect it even to be closer. That's the nature of this track. So Jack Miller in the MotoGP finishing 15 on only 0.6. But Jack's a happy camper because finally it got confirmed what we already knew all the time. He will be another year be with Yamaha because he wants to be in the MotoGP paddock like he tells us all the time. He got an offer which gave him definitely a lot more money to go World Superbike for lots of money for at least immediately 3 years. But Jack being Jack, he wants to be on the most interesting bikes, fighting against the most interesting riders in the world as long as he can. So happy to see him back another year, and he will definitely be very important for Yamaha in the development of the new V4 bike, which they really, really, really need because Yamaha is struggling. That's it from today's Friday. Not sure if I will be back tomorrow, Saturday. I've got a long travel to do. We'll try it. If not, don't get angry with me. I will be back on Sunday with discussing the race with you. Thanks for watching.